it's Kim with Kim Dixon Creative. I'm so glad you stopped by my channel today. Today I am doing a craft collab that is sponsored by Scraperfect and the best glue ever. Right now I'm showing you some products that I got from Scraperfect. That was the best glue ever. This is the best cleaner ever. It's really good to clean up inks and things off of your surfaces. Here's their catalog, and it shows all the products that they have. You can go to www.scraperfect.com and see all of the products that they have. They have a lot of different things. They have foils. I ordered some foils and some glue tops. They're called the no clog writing cap. There's the foils I ordered. You'll see me use some of those foils here in just a little bit. So here are the no clog writing caps, and you can buy them in different sizes. I bought two separate sizes. I bought the medium and the large. The medium fits perfectly on a 2-ounce bottle of glossy accents, and that's what I used it for. I love to use glossy accents, but let's face it, we don't like that cap that comes with it because you can never get the little cap small enough to get a really fine line, and then it clogs up all the time. But this is supposed to be much better than that, and so it works perfectly. As you see, I put the cap on and it works great. The top white cap is has a pin in it, so it automatically goes down inside the cap to keep it from clogging up. Now I'm going to show you a little something about what the best cleaner ever does. This is a label that Amy sent me. Amy is from Scraperfect, and it's a laser printed label, and you'll see it's going to clean up that ink off of that label. It works best if you, in something like this, if you spray it and let it sit for a minute and then start rubbing it. So I let it sit for just a few seconds before I started back in to show you how well that cleans that ink off of that sheet of paper. I mean, I could, if I would have spent the time, I could have gotten it completely clean. Now with the best glue ever, one thing that you can do, because this glue dries clear, but it also dries tacky. So once it's dried, you can make your own glue dots. And so that's what I'm showing here. I did some earlier and they work perfectly. And so you just drop some glue down, and that little fine tip, you can do teeny tiny little dots. And that's one thing that I always have trouble finding is small enough glue dots sometimes. Sometimes the glue dots are too big for what the embellishment that I'm using. So I'm going to drop some of those dots of glue down, and I'll let it set probably for about an hour. And you can see, if I can finally get it in screen, the little glue dot that it makes. And trust me, it's sticky. So what I'm going to do with my best glue ever and the foils, I'm going to use this Stencil. Stencil is from Simple Stories, and I sprayed it with some pixie spray. Now that was a mistake, and you'll see why. But I sprayed it with a pixie spray, and I'm going to just take a makeup sponge and squirt some of the glue out on a piece of release paper so that it's, it doesn't stick to it, and just dab that glue on the inside of that stencil. I did find out in a test project that I did, we're taught when we're painting with a stencil to dab. This works better if you kind of brush it on, because you want it to be smooth. You don't want it to have the bumps that you would have if you're using the dabbing motion. So you see here I am actually more brushing that glue onto the paper and through the stencil. And so my idea is I'm going to get this glue on, I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to take some foils and foil those butterflies. And I'm just dabbing that on and spreading it out, and you can see there was some glue that was dried on the release paper where I tried to test before, and it's sticky. I'm just going to tell you, it dries sticky, very, very sticky. So if you know, some of the glue dots I made, I kind of had laid to the side and forgot that I'd laid them to the side, and they stuck on everything that I put on top of it. So yeah, the glue dots work very well, and the glue does dry extremely tacky, which is good. It's what you want it to do, especially if you're going to be doing a project like this with the foils. So I've got that on there, and I let the glue dry for a while. There's the glue dots that I made previously. It's been about an hour that I let it dry. I wanted to make sure that it was as dry as it was going to get. And you can see it's very shiny. It's no longer white. So I'm just going to take this pink foil and put it down and just rip it up. And you'll see where I say that I made a mistake with the pixie spray. There's residue from the pixie spray that's left on the cardstock. So not only did I get the foiled butterflies, but it also picked up the residue from the pixie spray. The foil stuck to it. So there's like a spray around the butterflies. So it's what I did, so we're going to go with it. And this section that I'm doing, I'm going to end up cutting this down, the panel down, to go on the front of an A2 card anyway. And so that's what I have after I did the foils. I think it turned out really pretty. I like that pink color. So now I'm going to cut this panel down to 4 by 5 1/4. To go on the front of my A2 size card, and I used the best glue ever on the back of that panel to glue it down to the front of my A2 card. And that glue works very well. You use just a little bit. You don't have to use a whole lot. And I do love that the pin is attached to the cap of this glue. I'll definitely be buying more of those caps. I cut out a circle from a die set that I have from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I cut it out of some glitter cardstock, and then I'm going to pop it up with foam tape, with Scotch double-sided foam tape. I'll have a list of all the supplies that I used, including the ones from Scraperfect. I also have a link in the description below to her store, to Amy's store, that has all of the items that she has. This is a craft collab, and it is there's a hop. There will be a list of the other participants in the hop in the description box below. There's also going to be a giveaway, and the details of that giveaway will be in the description box below. So I'm just taking a butterfly stamp that I have in my stash. I think it's a Stampin' Up stamp. You can see I stamped it before with a purple color, but it wasn't quite right. So I'm using this VersaFine Clair ink to stamp down my butterfly body. And then I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo black ink to stamp down the body of that butterfly. I like this stamp. I like the way it's a watercolor type feel. You've got the outline that you stamp, and then you've got the body that you of the color that you stamp in, and it's not perfect, and it's not meant to be perfect, and it makes it easy to stamp. But it also, I like the way that it looks when you get done. It looks imperfect, like a watercolor would look. So I'm going to stamp the body down using a Memento Tuxedo black ink. And I'm using Memento Tuxedo black ink because that was the ink that was on my desk. And that's the only reason. I had done some alcohol marker coloring earlier that day, and so that ink was there and it got used. And I'm going to take this butterfly, and I'm also going to cut it out using the circle dies, the scallop circle dies from Elizabeth Crafts Designs. and put it in the center of that glitter cardstock. I'm using the Scraperfect Best Glue Ever to glue it down to the glitter cardstock. And we all know how difficult that can be sometimes. Glitter cardstock tends to be a difficult product to glue to. It doesn't like to adhere very well, but it did adhere very nicely. And that's my card. I think it turned out pretty good. I enjoyed using the products from Scraperfect, and I think you would too. Again, there will be a link in the description box below to the store, and a link to all of the products that I used, including the tools. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel today. I am so glad that you took time out of your day to spend with me, and also to hop along with the other collaborators in this hop. Each of us will be using different products from Scraperfect, and you'll get to see how all of them work together. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would be honored if you would do so and click the little bell icon so that you can be notified each time that I upload a new video. Follow along in the hop below and give each person some love. Like and comment on their videos. It helps us and to grow our channel, and it helps our ego when you like our videos. So if you would just hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks again for stopping by my channel. I'm so glad you spent some time with me today. And until next time, bye.